Welcome to Live, Let, Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Myka and Steve.
Hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode
Of Live,
Let
Thrive. What is up, Myka? Man.
I'm chilling, Stevie Stacks. How you doing?
Wonderful on this beautiful day. Got my coffee ready. We're gonna talk some shop with an industry leader, an expert in the field of PMS or PMPs or whatever you want to call them. It is Igor from iGMS joining the show, and I can't wait to dive in. We are Live, Let, Thrive, as you know, episode 276 of your favorite short-term, mid-term, long-term rental podcast in the world, and we're always trying to learn new things, and we got a great guest today, and Igor is going to tell us everything that he knows, and we're going to, use it to grow our business. So I'll give a little lead in on Igor. He says the founders met years ago at a baby shower in Vancouver. Both had a history of entrepreneurship and were engaged in the sharing economy, particularly as Airbnb hosts. Recognizing Vancouver's appeal to the international investors, especially from Asia, they noticed an absence of major players managing short-term rentals. This led to them to establish a short-term rental management business named B&B Care. As their business grew, they encountered difficulties managing communication across multiple Airbnb accounts. Despite searching extensively, they couldn't find a software solution that integrated with Airbnb. Leveraging their IT backgrounds, one founder even had experience selling a project to BMW. They developed their own solution, initially named Airbnb Multi-Chat, later referred to as AirGMS. And I'll stop there. It's a long thing you got going on, but welcome to the show, Igor. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well. Thank you. That's a cool intro.
Yeah, the caffeine helps a little, man. Sorry if I messed up on some things. So, real quick, how did you get your start personally? I know we went over the thing a little bit in the short-term rental economy, the business, all that stuff.
It's a good question. I never thought I'm going to go this way. It was just like all random and destiny, so to speak. Because I've always been in technology, and I love developing applications and like distributed systems. So I've been working with the banks, automation of different systems and stores on the multinational levels. But this time I moved to Canada, and I was looking for some kind of business to start over here. So originally I'm from Russia. This is my background is Russian. And by moving over here, I was looking for the partner and a new business opportunity. And initially we wanted to replicate just technology company like to make the marketplace for the cleaners, residential cleaners. You go to the website, you order some cleaners, just go through reviews, and you get your appointment and like your cleaner over to do the cleaning for you. Mm-hmm. So we were looking to solve that, but after a couple of pivots, we figured out that there is like huge potential in the short-term rental industry, because pretty much like half of our orders coming from Airbnb managers. This is how I went to Airbnb and short-term rental.
Cool. And so that's how you started iGMS, and so you started catering to. You did say Asian investors, so you started. You noticed a bunch of Asian investors in Vancouver.
It is the fact, like Vancouver is growing, and I think that like whole inflation here is probably fueled by Asian immigrants. They bring big money. And you can see that a lot of real estate belongs to them, and that's the nature of facts here. And as a customers, like initially it was not as a software company. We started as a property management company, so like pretty much doing the Airbnb management for the end customer, for the owners. And when you're dealing with big investors, they don't want to do the STR or Airbnb themselves, but they want big money, right, that you can earn for them. So this is how we started. And then we created the technology pretty much for us as a set of tools. And at some point, I remember like me and my partner Ivan were discussing like, how would it be cool to actually sell it worldwide? And I was like, not in the state like this one. So let's put a landing page and pretend that we have like a full technology, like nice fit to the market and check if there is any demand. And I remember that sleepless night, just putting a landing page all together, pretending that we have robust technology that's solving what we actually solving here. And over 2 weeks, we got a lot of leads showing the interest to this technology. And we say, okay, let's put the money in and let's develop it like real product.
I love that. Fake it till you make it, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And so what's cool about that, people are like, oh, a lot of people are like, oh, we got to get everything perfect before we start putting our name out there or release a product or whatever. But no, not really. You can go and test the waters. And I heard a story a long time ago, like when Home Depot first started, right? These owners, that the founders of Home Depot, they were starting to show investors these stores, and they didn't have even all the products yet. So they started, closing empty boxes and then stacking them like they had a ton of product before they even got the investors. The investors walk in, they see some of the tools out, and then see a bunch of empty boxes. Oh yeah, we got plenty of products. We can do big things. And so they faked it till they made it. So it's a good little trick right there.
That's 100%. And this is a lesson I learned before I started this business, because back in Russia, I was running my software development company. We've been doing like very custom projects for big clients, and among mid-sized customers, there was so many ideas. Like people just came to us and say like, I want to develop something like Facebook before Facebook was born. Like, I want to develop something like Gmail with multiple domain names before Gmail is doing like the proper thing properly. And a lot of those requests being failing because they wanted the whole like ideal thing and did not want to start and just test with like small things.
So with there being because there's a lot of property management systems out there now, right? A lot of them. How do you guys differentiate yourselves from the rest of them?
All right. So first of all, I like to come from the UX experience. Like the UX experience is important. We do have Android and iOS, right? It's like two companies. They produce like excellent phones, but some people prefer one, other people prefer different one. So I personally own iOS, and I like the UX of the iOS, and I like the modern UI of the FEMA system that we're building over here. So from the very beginning, we started to build something that is very unique and useful on the UX side. We also distinguish ourselves by the customer support. Instead of pretending that we do have customer support like other companies do, like for smaller mid-size, there's like so long way to actually get this attention. We provide this online chat within the application, and we listen to our customers. That's pretty much how we build the company. Like we listen to the customers and their needs, and by that intake, we build custom features that they actually need for their businesses.
That's awesome. Now you said that you like the iOS, so I'm assuming, do you guys have like an extensive app for your users? Because I know when I was with a couple of PMSs before, it was like no one had got the app thing down right. So do you guys have like an extensive app for your users? And can you go into that a little bit if you guys do?
Yeah, we do have that on both platforms, Android and iOS. You're welcome to try that. iOS is pretty good. We have a lot of functionality inside, and you can use this for cleaners as well as property managers. So we actually, when we build B&B Care as a property management company, I've been the guy who's been in the fields trying to answer and do the key exchange same time while doing the communication of like two more guests that are just trying to check in somewhere. So I've been in there, and this is why we built our mobile app, user-friendly, solution, so you can actually do this while you are in the fields or from the laptop. Actually, our stats can currently showing that more than half customers right now using the mobile app and mobile interface rather than the desktop version.
So you can connect your cleaners to it too?
Yeah, you can invite your cleaning team or assign your head of cleaners a manager, and she can do this or he can do that for you, managing the whole team from different countries. We have a lot of customers who are present internationally in different cities and countries, and you can overlook like how different departments are doing in different countries, and you're slowly growing in number of team members over there.
That's cool. Yeah, because we usually keep our cleaners like in formerly Turnoverbnb. We keep them all there, and then we have our PMS doing like a part. I never thought of putting them together. That's pretty cool.
We do support Turn integration as well. So if you want that advanced modules and functionality, you can do that. But we do have an internal in-house solution for simpler procedures.
I love
your team.
I love simpler. That's my favorite. And this is what I would love is a company. It's cool that we ain't sponsored by a PMS right now, so we could just talk. All the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever. We don't have to say, oh, what guess these are sponsored. Nice. We have to respect them. But no, we don't got to. And so I currently use Hospitable. They're not paying me. I'm paying them, so I can say whatever I want about them. So anyways, I would love for a PMS or PMP, whatever you call it, system, property management software system to be able to do everything for me. Because I have, I got Price Labs over here, right? Of course, I have the Airbnb, VRBO, and all that stuff. And then I got, what did I say? Was mine Hospitable? Hospitable. My PMP, yeah. And then I got Turnoverbnb. So I got a bunch of different things going on. But do y'all offer like an experience where it's all in one, that you can even do pricing on yours? Like you can adjust pricing to the levels of something like a Price Labs or something like that?
We currently do have integration to 4 players and this dynamic pricing systems. So including Price Labs. Price Labs is a cool solution, easy to use, very popular among our customers. So currently we seamlessly integrate to those systems. It's like so easy. You just go to iGMS, and once you click on your property, you choose one of that and create a link account, and you go from there. I'm personally in the communication to 3 of those companies that we integrated in order to do something like all-in-one interface solution to bring their experience into PMS system itself. We already have full control on, prices, like recommendations come to our system, and you see that you can override that, you can change, you can close the dates, easy to control. Basically, it's a suggestion level coming from them, automatically applied. Mm-hmm. But it would be cool to actually have all their small settings within the application, so you don't need to switch at all.
That would be awesome, because here's a real quick, and I'm done.
No, go ahead.
I know you got I know Michael's got a million questions. Because what I come across, and like I said, I ain't a genius at this. I do all right. I get the places full mostly. I do have gaps, whatever. It happens. But I'll do a change, like Price Labs, for example, and then it'll shoot it out to Hospitable, and then it'll change it on Airbnb. But sometimes there's a rule set in Airbnb that overrides the rule set in Price Labs, which overrides the Hospitable. And if you're not on top of all 3, you might screw something up big time, and then you're letting someone stay at your place for $20 a night or something stupid. So that's why for me, as my simple brain, I would love to have it all in one spot where I could just go and do my changes I want. I know it's gonna change it. It's gonna be, it's gonna set everything like I need it to be, instead of having it 3 different places.
Right. Yeah. Normally, how you deal with this dynamic pricing, you set up your preferences, like what your property looks like, what strategy you select, and you don't use Price Labs after. Like basically, the AI works. It sends like all recommendations to us, and you have full control in iGMS for the calendar. If you don't like the price, you can switch it over directly on our platform. And Price Labs would know about that, and they will adjust their predictions based on your preferences, because your preferences take over.
Okay, cool.
So regarding that, because I know where Steve's coming from. It's easy to just have everything in one place, right? So what are the considerations for you as a PMP when deciding, like, is it worth the investment to hop into pricing and all that, or y'all just rather just focus on the property management side and then we just do a bunch of integrations? Is that the more, I guess, that the more cost effective way to do it, or what are y'all thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that?
It's a very good question. So, of course, as a business owner, I want everything in our product, right? It's like pretty much like take the whole value of the whole industry. But to be realistic, it wouldn't be possible. It's like too many brains needs to be involved, and this is why we have their companies risking their investors' money with their directors and so on and so on. I do believe that integration is a key, although deep integrations between the companies is very, very important. And we're already doing this with insurance companies like Safely. So you do not need to leave the interface of iGMS. You can like switch all the settings over there directly from the interface. Turno would be a good example as well, like seamlessly integrated. And we're working on additional integrations. So, for example, one of the projects that I'm advising on right now, it's called D-Travel. It's pretty much where crypto meets short-term rental. You go search for that. They do amazing things. They like, I'm advising on putting up the industry standard protocol for short-term rental. So whenever you have linked to Guesty, for example, you can start defining your business, and then you can easily migrate to any other PMS system, or just go directly with your, like, basically in the crypto world and start selling directly to the users who are using crypto payments, independently on any like Airbnb platform or any platform at all. So very cool things, and I believe that STR is still like a blue ocean. It's kind of getting reddish, but the protocol and standards are coming here, and they're going to be some way to integrate every player on some protocols, so it's more convenient for everyone.
I guess I see it because you mentioned iOS earlier, right? And
Right.
Apple is notorious for wanting to be end to end, right? You want everything. They want to do everything. It's not like, okay, we're gonna have Microsoft handle text messages. We're gonna have so and so handle phone calls. We're gonna have so and so handle the internet for us. They want their Safari. They want their texting. The blue. You got to have blue, otherwise you're chastised. And then they want their phone call with whatever network they choose. So that, to me, I just, they took over the world by trying to be simple and having everything in one spot, and that's that. They do have the App Store, which is great. They realize that they can't do everything in the world, and then there's the App Store, right? But you're really, when you ask somebody about, if you hand an Apple user an Android, they're like, what the hell is this? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what's going on. It just fries their brain. I started with Android, so I went to Apple. So to me, it was like easy to go to Apple because I was like, oh, this is everything simple. Oh, I need to find something in settings. I don't got to look for a file and open folders and look in, like an Android. So the simplicity was of course helped them take over the world. But and to me, I guess what are the three major things, Myka, in running your short-term rental business is it's communication, right, and pricing, and I guess the calendar. Those are the three major things that you got to keep track of, or the cleanings.
Cleaning, yeah.
Calendar is kind of pricing. So calendar and pricing, communication, and the turnovers. Those are like the three major things. And I don't know, you said integrations and you can work with other companies, and that's great. But if I didn't have to pay, you got to pay for all these apps, and they add up, right? So I'm paying like $370 a month to Price Labs, and I'm paying another whatever 300 something to hospitable, and I'm paying, the turnover stuff. But like, yeah, that's all I'm saying. And I don't know what I'm just rambling.
I got a question behind that. You make a good question. You lead into a good question with that. What kind of communication products does iGMS offer? Because, for example, I use one PMP, but their communication isn't as good as Hospitable's. So I kind of still use Hospitable on the back end. So do you guys offer like a variety of like smart communication? Like, hey, if this guest doesn't, if there's days available and before the guests check out, do you have like something where it can automatically tell the guests, hey, if you want to extend, there's days available or anything like that?
That's a good question. We don't have this right now, but it's on the roadmap since we received those requests from our customers, and it's coming in Q1 next year. As well as like extension, like you have like 2 days window after your stay. Why don't you take this customer and bring this, like, convert it into extended stay through your direct booking? So basically, you don't even to deal with the Airbnb or VRBO. You can send this offer. If they accept, they pay the risk extension. Right? It's so simple.
Okay. You said a very key word that I love. You said direct booking. So do you guys have a direct booking website, and are you guys partnered with any like direct booking companies?
That's a technology that we have in-house. We have currently the free-to-use website. It's easy to start. And we also have advanced version that is in beta version right now, in beta release. We have a beta group, over 1,000 people testing, property management companies testing that right now. It's very advanced website builder where you can customize a lot of things. And we build it with the best UI, I would say, because I'm putting iOS experience on this. So the guest facing presence should be really, really clean and crispy.
Awesome. So, and you guys said, oh, go ahead. What are you saying, Tom Steve?
No, that was Mike Brown's big question. Ask him if they have AI capabilities. He wanted that too.
Yeah, because that is, and speaking of that in general, like, because AI is starting to take over. I just watched them on 60 Minutes, and I was like, it was kind of scary, the stuff that it can do, but it's starting to like really take over. And I noticed Airbnb had their winter release today, and they are implementing some AI with the photos and like how they present the photos to the guests. What other areas of AI, if you don't mind sharing, that that iGMS is getting into?
Well, I keep track on AI news as well. This is like very exciting technologies around. I use ChatGPT on daily basis. I bounce the ideas and brainstorm like together with ChatGPT now. More than with the people in our company, I would say. Yeah, it's crazy. But what I believe and what we building right now is basically integration to the external personal AI. Rather than bringing the technology into the application, I believe that you're gonna have your personal AI in some infrastructure. For example, ChatGPT is a good example. You can plug and play a lot of plugins right now, right? It's like so many startup projects, not mature yet, but we basically building a bridge over there. So you would be asking questions about your STR business directly through ChatGPT, and it will have access to all the data within PMS system. So that kind of things, I think, it makes more sense than just automatic replies. Automatic replies is like easy to do, and like we haven't done that with ChatGPT because we believe in a bigger vision on this topic. It should be like data analysis, how you're gonna bring like more value, and not only pretending like we're replacing the people over here. Like you wanna grow. You wanna smart decisions. This is where you want AI, not like small tasks, not only small tasks.
Yeah. So, and this is because I was at an AI event, and maybe this is kind of where we're kind of going with it. And basically, this guy he took like all these cities' laws, and he put it in this large language model, and he could ask the AI bot, hey, what is the law regarding this? Is it eventually going to be where we could actually have a large language model of only our properties? So when a guest asks a question, it's automatically shot back out. Is that kind of where you see it going? I'm not gonna say if you guys, but is that where you kind of see it going?
Yeah, it's a first layer, so to speak, like the knowledge of all your properties based on listings and information internally. But the second layer is like you as a business owner, you can ask questions, and like the AI would have all the data from your operations, answering those questions directly. Like I think we come into the world where you using a spreadsheet to making your decisions is no longer a thing. Mm-hmm. You should be talking just like to the very expensive consulting company, like representative who came to your business and say like, let's 10x from here, but it costs like $20 a month. I do like once we plug this all the information into the ChatGPT, and we have a prototype already, you'll be able to query a lot of business related things that just blow your mind.
Wow.
Man, see, I know Myka's big into it. I tried it a little bit. I haven't dove into it, but I know Myka's addicted to it. He's a computer background. But it is amazing because I mean, the stuff I'm hearing, you could tell it to, hey, make me a website like this, and it'll drop all the code and create you the exact website you want, and write me a book on this, and they'll write you a freaking book. It's insane, man. So yeah. In a sense, I'm like, is this we won't need to hire VAs anymore, virtual assistants?
You would need the smart ones who can do the prompt engineering, because eventually, you're running a business, you're asking the right questions, but now you need your operational managers so you can get your vacation finally.
And he just touched on something that I would tell anyone who already currently has VAs. There's like free courses on LinkedIn, and you can teach them prompt engineering and get prompt engineering certificates. Because my VA uses ChatGPT heavily, and I encourage it. So yeah, it makes things a whole lot easier if you're using ChatGPT. Like even if you don't know how to respond to a question, and it's like not documented, you could throw it in ChatGPT and get an answer like that, and a professional answer too. So definitely something worth looking into if you guys are into doing that with your VAs.
So Myka touched on it earlier. Y'all have a direct booking website that when you sign up with iGMS, you get your own direct booking website.
That's right. Yeah, you plug your properties, or if you have them on Airbnb VRBO, you plug those accounts, and you create the website within like 5 minutes. We do have webinars on this topic, like we call it workshops, pretty much, because this is where we show in action how quickly you can do that, like professional looking website, ready to go, connected to Stripe, and start accepting reservations directly. With a nice interface that is on the level of Airbnb and iOS, like pretty much Apple style. Yeah, and like you don't need to pay thousands of bucks anymore for that kind of solutions.
So it's free when you sign up with iGMS.
It's not free. It's premium version, but it's a fraction. Pretty much, it's a monthly payment for whatever you publish over there.
Nice. Now here's the thing too with doing direct bookings, people worry about chargebacks. And how do y'all protect against chargebacks?
It's a good question. So first of all, we partner with Safely on protection. So like first thing is like you need to protect yourself from the damages, right? As for chargebacks, we have Stripe, and Stripe has a whole bunch of fraud protection embedded. They also started to implement some additional insurances on the deals, and like pretty much like monitoring the fraud and ID verification within Stripe, which I like a lot. It's in States. It's a new technology, but by just processing the credit card, they already know about that guest a lot of information. So they're the best place to actually measure those risks for you. And they have additional products that they would cost you percentage of the revenue. If you're ready to do that, pretty much their AI monitors everything and declines reservations that that's like too risky. That's cool technology. You don't need to do this manually anymore.
That's awesome, man. Because that's the biggest fear, from everybody I talk to about doing direct. Oh, what if they just do a chargeback and I don't get paid? Because we've been in that before in a deal with Stripe, and I guess we weren't paying for the, what is it called, chargeback protection and stuff like that. So we got a bunch of once we went live, our site started getting a lot of direct bookings, and we got a ton of chargebacks. And so Stripe locked up our account and then held like $4,000 of our dollars until everything got figured out. And so it was just a mess, man. So I'm glad that they're hip to it too, that people are abusing the direct booking sites and doing these chargebacks and getting, and then the hosts are getting screwed. So it's bad for their business too. So if they offer some kind of percentage, and Myka spoke to it before, they offer like 3% and you're protected from chargebacks. So that's cool.
Yeah, they evolve it. And that's not a single industry. Stripe is applicable for all industries. They do really great things. And the next thing, the big thing is about the chargebacks is the next service they pretty much like developing right now. It's being able to accept crypto. Crypto is irreversible, right? So like you cannot just do the chargeback. There is no such thing as a chargeback over there. So they working on integration of crypto, and this is something that is coming in the next 2 years. I tell you, like this is going to be big. For direct.
No, that's awesome. Crypto, paying in crypto, right?
I never thought about it. You can't charge back on that. Go ahead, Steve.
No, so like, I mean, you could pay with any coin or Bitcoin. I get, man. See, I'm a novice at that too, because I know Bitcoin and Ethereum are the big ones, but then you have your wallet or your purse or whatever it's called, and you can pay with any monetary form or any coin, and like that company y'all work with converts it to us getting the payout in cash or something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty much what D-Travel is working on right now. As they pretty much accepting any different coins, and you settle that in whatever merchant you as a property manager select, like whatever currency you want. USDC, for example, stable coins. Yeah,
that's cool, man. I need that's it. That is awesome. One thing, because I know these businesses spring up to help us entrepreneurs. Here's another thing too. Let's just say it's a huge booking, a direct booking that we're going to get, right? And here's the thing: what we do with direct bookings, if it's a big booking, over 30 days, it's a few months, we pretty much do the whole like it's a tenant, take the risk and letting them stay at our place, and then they get tenant rights, and if they did stop paying us and overstay, they're going to get evicted and all that stuff, right? So there was really nothing in place once we went off platform to get a big booking. It's always better to go off platform to get the big booking, because you don't, you say you make hundreds of more dollars doing it that way, or thousands possibly. But here that the thing is, it takes a lot of hosts. They don't like to go off platform for nothing, because they have that Airbnb protection. To them, it's a secret protection, right? But there's companies popping up that will back that payment, so there's one called Pay It that I'm talking to. I know you probably talk to all these people too. There's one called Pay It. So this one, somebody wants to book for 3 months, I'll get that 3-month payout immediately, right? And then they have to work it out with Pay It to pay these payments to rent my place for 3 months or 6 months or whatever it is. But I'm safe because I got all my money already. If they start trying to screw Pay It, that Pay It's gotta go after them for that. So I think these things are popping up because we need them, the chargeback protections, and then being able to take payments, which is huge, because this is how American society works. Everybody wants to do payments on everything, all the way from a textbook to a car to a house. Everybody wants payments. Nobody gets cash. So anyways, so I know that that you're probably already talking to these kind of companies that can help hosts, receive money and make more money.
Stripe is a main technology, and Safely, which we already integrated. We're working on a deeper integration right now. It's going to protect you against all damages and like pretty much like wherever Airbnb has is a guarantee. It's the same thing, but through the partner that's deeply integrated in the product.
So
Now,
go ahead.
Sorry, your turn, Mike.
I was just gonna say, like, because you guys get firsthand knowledge from owners, right? So, because me and Steve can tell you our pain points, and then like, what are like main challenges or pain points that you're seeing from property managers right now, and how does iGMS like work to alleviate those pain points?
It depends on the location.
Mm-hmm.
Some locations very hard because of regulations. Regulations was like huge deal for Toronto this year. Like pretty much the whole Toronto, Metro Toronto, like destroyed on the Airbnb and short-term rental.
Oh,
lots of yeah, it's a disaster, right? But before that, there was New York. Like we see that because we have customers everywhere, right? And like when the war starts and there is like regulations, people trying to survive. You build your business, you run like a company, successful company for 100 properties, and now regulations coming over and like your business costs zero. What you're gonna do, right? You're gonna fight for that. You're gonna try to figure out what ways to survive, right? So we've seen that war in Japan first, then New York, then Toronto. So regulations are important part, and this is where we support our customers. Like like pretty much you need to do the pivot, right? So there is if it's regulated, you need to adapt to this new reality. And this is what's going on. This is a requirement. So like, why don't you do that? And in some cases, it is completely impossible. If they put the ban, like you go long term now, and this is where we also offer like mid-term and long-term capabilities on the platform now, including this direct booking. So you can actually get your guests with a mid-term, monthly rental, or even annual contract for the rental directly booked through direct booking platform.
Oh, yeah, regulations is huge. Go ahead. Going through. Go ahead.
That is it. That is what I was going to ask you, because you're at the forefront. You have a lot of what's it called? A lot of customers, a lot of business. So, and we've all heard of iGMS. But here's the thing. That's what I was going to ask you. With all these regulations, I mean, even red states like Texas, regulations everywhere. You think that would be more laissez-faire economics, where we can do whatever? But no, it's regulations sweeping across Dallas. All the surrounding cities, Austin, San Antonio, wherever it's just going across the whole country. And so do you see y'all's business suffering because of it? Like, is it growing or is it shrinking, or is it kind of like staying the same, or what's going on?
I would say overall, globally, STR is growing, and there is a huge way to go still. Like STR taking value from the market share from the hotel industry. That's just no question, right? That's like Airbnb is growing. We keep track, like we use like 30% every year, 30% growth. Like for that huge company, it is very amazing. And same time, like Booking.com and Expedia, they're growing too. Like it's not like the new Airbnb, the new technologies, like because it's the innovating, right? It's overall vacation rental is growing. People prefer to exchange homes. It's a new way of thinking, right? So industry is growing, and I do believe that there is huge potential because of that. So regulation come to actually stabilize the growth. So it will be growth. It won't be stopped, right? It's going to be like more moderate. So you don't want to go too fast. Otherwise, you would be killing like local communities, right? It's like this is what actually happened in Toronto. This is why there was a crackdown on Airbnb. Like people were so motivated because of the huge dollars, right? It's like you take all the inventory from downtown, and now there is less units for just like workers around this area, like for normal employees and like normal people around. So it was, but if it's not that fast, if developers fast enough to build a new inventory and add it to the market, then the growing is sustainable. And I think the regulations is a good thing overall.
Man, I love how you said that. I've never heard someone say regulations stabilize the growth. I like that. It's a good way to look at it. It stabilizes the growth. Because I didn't know what was going on in Toronto. I just looked it up. Like, yeah, it was a lot of units up there. That's crazy. Wow.
So, and like for a little bit, it's going to stay like this. But I'm sure like Airbnb is always, it goes in waves, right? It's like if you side it too much, they're going to be different problems in the city. Like you want to attract your tourism as well. So there's going to be some balance even in Toronto.
So now, do you integrate? Because I hear some PMSs, they will get your listing on Google. Do you get the listings on Google?
We do have the current project that's called Google Vacation Rental to get you on Google. So right now, if you use our advanced direct booking website builder, everything is SEO friendly already. So it gets indexed by default free for you. But you need to invest into your marketing and promote your website through social media. And this is why we planning to roll out educational materials and also educational courses around how you actually build a brand. But there is a second way, which is more expensive. You pay for advertising, right? It's like you pay to Google to get this Google Vacation Rental and rotate over there. It's a good to start, but it's always going to be expensive. Like basically, you compete into the advertising budget of the Airbnb itself, which, by the way, is not only living on your fees that you pay, right, but also sponsored by all investors. It's a public company after all, right? It's like it's $1 billion over there in cash, and they put in this into advertising budget. So it is very important. If you're local business, it's very important not only pay for advertising, but think about strategy, how you actually build a brand who attracts free traffic, SEO traffic, organic. You need organic growth.
So Mike is big on the Google. That's why I asked that question.
Yeah. I'm big on Google Vacation Rentals. The reason why, too, they just showed face at Vacation Rental World Summit. So they are actively showing that they're going to be in the space. So, yeah, I'm real big on them right now.
And it's the right thing to do because it's still blue ocean for that. It's just that technology just started by Google itself. And I've been there because I used to have a client who've been selling physical products. And Google did this, Google Shop, like pretty much like the same technology, but for retail. So you can advertise your products. And when it just opened, there was a lot of traffic, lots of profits. And then profits just like goes lower and lower and lower because you have more players already plugged into the technology. Now you compete into pretty much all the top performers, right? So I would say right now it is very good tool. It's very productive. It will bring you a lot of guests, but over time you need to reuse this revenue and profits and build your brand. Because over long term, you need your brand to be bringing you as much as your paid advertisement, at least.
Give us a few tips on how the best way to build your brand online.
Okay, so first of all, Bustling, those guys are really good. They sell all this knowledge.
Who'd you say?
You come over, Bustling.
Boostly.
Simpson.
Shout out to Mark. Yeah,
we got our Boostly sites.
So I would suggest to actually go and educate, like just take a professional education by them. Like just they give a lot of knowledge. But right now, what we're building with this website builder, the technology is not a problem. Like technology is here, but now you need procedures, right? Now you need to promote this. How are you going to reach out to the previous guests? How are you going to select and target those previous guests? How are you going to use Google advertisements with Google Pixel and Facebook Pixel to actually remarket to the potential guests who visited your website but haven't made any bookings yet? So it's a whole marketing experience. And I think if property manager decides to actually invest into own brand, it's a new set of skills. Now you need to think about what marketing is, right? What advertisement is, and learn these new skills. I would say invest into these skills as a business owner, because that, if you learn that, whether you apply this to your property management company or your next venture in any different industry, that's going to be very valuable as a business owner.
Testing your skills. I love that.
Branding is key, man. And you mentioned something earlier, real quick. You said hotel. This whole short-term rental thing has shifted how people look at hotels or stay at hotels, and there's and I spoke with Myka about this a while back. I said, once I saw that the old people were using the word, "Oh, we're going to rent an Airbnb," the old people at work, I was like, oh, like the year before, I didn't even know what an Airbnb was. And then they're all saying, oh, we rented this nice Airbnb over here, and it was wonderful. So I see the shift happening now. And now, are hotels really struggling because of this?
I would say they losing the market slowly. They're still pretty big because I think COVID actually was a pivot point on this topic, so to speak. Because hotel industry, it has a lot of money, and COVID actually reduced this amount of cash they have on hands. And now there is a different balance. So what I see when I analyze the bigger players in the STR, they keep growing. The hotels are not growing; they stagnant. And now it's a question of what's the population is going to be. If population overall is going to switch from growing to stagnant, then I believe the short-term rental will just thrive a lot because there is no more people coming to hotel industry and the STR same way. It's basically they will choose only like the new technology.
Would you, and I'm happy you brought that up, because would you say hotels are almost like a convenience factor at this point? Because, okay, I'm about to go stay at a hotel, but the only reason I'm staying at that hotel is because there's an event there. Without that event that's in the hotel, I'd probably go stay at an Airbnb with my family. Would you see that like that's playing a huge part in it?
It is part and will be, of course. It's convenient. Also, I would say if like 3 years ago, there was also such thing as like, of course, hotel, like I'm on travel and my business is paying for that. So right now, like it's still like just slowly starting. Not many people know that you can write off your Airbnb as a business expense. It's just starting as an idea, like it can be for business purposes. And this is what Airbnb actually did the initial push for business travels. But now they have like better version of receipts and invoices and everything like easy to give the tax authority. So everything can be proven. And this is where I see the shift is happening as well. For example, even for bigger conferences, like, you go there and if there is good places for Airbnb, same price tag, like I would prefer Airbnb.
Yeah.
That's interesting, man. Yeah. The whole write-off thing.
Yeah.
And we mentioned it back a long time ago on the shows. I said, why don't they do, I said, one thing was cool about hotels when I was staying at them was that you'd get on their rewards programs and stuff, and you get like a free night or a free couple of nights, if you stayed at enough of that chain's hotel. Now, I don't think Airbnb doesn't do that. Not that I know of, but do you foresee them doing something like that? Maybe.
It is probably they will. Like loyalty programs are always important, but I'm more betting on a like independent player, like Deep Travel, for example. They put in this crypto payments, and why should you be linked to Airbnb only if you can be industry standard for all the players like Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com, and also your all set of direct booking websites and local brands to be put in the same technology with reward points that you can spend wherever you go. So I'm more believer of this direction over time, but it's something that industry standard takes time Like it's not going to happen within the next 3 years. It will take time.
Do you now? This actually kind of brings me. I'm going to bring this full circle. Does iGMS kind of have like a? Does it create a database of all the past guests that have stayed, and can that information be pulled by the host?
We do have that information. You cannot pull this information right away. There's going to be some marketing materials, marketing tools that they can and will be allowed to use to actually reach out to them and basically do the advertising, like, for example, the pixels and so on. But there is certain restrictions by the platforms themselves. You still need to comply with the terms and conditions of Airbnb, VRBO. So they don't allow you to steal the customers and the guests, right? So there is other topics you need to put in. So how you normally do it, they don't allow you to take the guest information and market to them, right? But if guest feels the chicken form in your place, or you send this information and you now capture that information, not from Airbnb, but from the tools, you're free to go. Like you can. And the good thing about that is that on the check-in form, in online version, you actually tag them by Facebook pixel. Now, whenever they think about your brand and like they think about travel, you would show the advertisement right in front of their eyes if you have availability on that direct booking for the days they're looking for. So I think that overall, this is a huge opportunity, and this is why I bet on direct booking direction itself. But it's more than just like managing the cleaners, right? Now you need skills to think about it, to properly not waste a lot of like thousands of dollars on Google advertisement and saying like, oh, it's going to work. It can work 10 times more efficient if you do this properly.
So I think you said, did you say Facebook Pixel?
Facebook and Google Pixel, they pretty much like we ended up to have two bigger platforms, right? You can either advertise in Google if you have Google Pixel installed, right? So, and Google is not just Google search. Now it's also YouTube. You probably spend some time on YouTube. Probably this episode is going to be on YouTube, right?
Oh yeah.
So people actually watch that and see a lot of advertisement unless you paid for paid subscription over there. And among that advertisement, it could be your brand showing that, okay, here we go. You actually visited us here in Vancouver last year. How about this year? Like, share the advertisement. It costs you like 1 cent, right? It's like, and you have a way to convert them after. Just send this traffic back to your direct booking. Like, this is a good idea. Like, they had like 5-star review for you. Like, so they're motivated to come back. There's personal connection. And the same thing to Facebook, because Facebook is not only Facebook anymore. It's Instagram, right? You spend time in Instagram as a guest. You're watching all the stuff, and then there is like cool video creation potentially created by AI of your personal AI created this video advertisement appealing to your guests who visited like 2 years ago with a family, paid $10,000 for 1 month, and they're ready to go back. They just don't know this idea. They need to be reminded. So this is what I see like as a future of direct booking.
Ooh, now, are you guys partnered with any of these companies?
With Facebook or Google?
Yeah.
Like we don't partner. We just use the technology. It's open source. It's like, yeah, we embed in this technology into marketing tools that we develop in right this moment.
That is powerful. Now that's not one that, yeah, I've heard people talk about it, but not actually you guys use it. That's actually cool. I love that.
This is the way I'm thinking about AI. It's not about the AI answering the questions for you, just like what the AI can do, right? It's about how we can actually reduce the cost of acquisition of this booking, right? So like how we can get the guests back to our property.
Because the reason I asked about the if you could pull the data, because it made me think maybe we definitely need to start our own loyalty rewards programs. Do you know what I mean? If we have the guest data, we see, hey, they booked here, here, and here. Hey, you've earned a free night, or you've earned 2 free nights. And I was just kind of think of how the best way to do that. So maybe Facebook and Google are the best way to do that, and you already have their data. I like that idea.
Cool, man. So how does pricing of your service compare with the other big boys in the industry?
I would say we're not as expensive as Guesty, but not as cheap as other players. So we still quite expensive product. The quality is important for us, but we prefer this all-in-one. So you pay for listing only when bookings happening. Like if you, for example, have like 30, 40 different listings and 10 of them on long term, and they already have like you maintain them on different platform, or you don't generate new bookings, you don't pay for them. We only charge you for listings that are currently involved in generating them some revenue for you.
I love that. Yeah,
Awesome.
I need to try it out, man. I mean, I'll say, Hospitable's been all right. I kind of inherited Hospitable, but it's so slow, man. If yours is fast, I definitely like that better. It's just excruciatingly slow, man. Especially if you have VAs trying to do it from another country where they don't have very good internet. Whew, it's brutal, dude. So y'all's fast?
We try to keep it fast. Yeah, you tell me. Like if it's not fast for you, we'll make it fast for you. We
Oh,
do have a
nice.
different size of the customers here, and this is what we prioritize. We have a lot of smaller customers where just like independent property owners decided, oh, we overgrown Airbnb, so we're going to put this on VRBO. How are we going to deal with multi-channels, right? So they come to us and we give them solution. It is, of course, very, very fast. And then we have on another sector, we have a huge company called Oya Vacation Rentals, 20,000 properties.
Mm.
Like, can you imagine it? 20,000 properties. We been customizing our application for them for over 2 years.
Holy
We made
smokes.
it fast for them. 20,000 properties, playing with the calendars, playing with any properties. Like there is, like in the inbox, there is so much activity. They actually need 7 online agents, like simultaneously to handle those.
Wow.
What's that company called?
It's Oya Vacation Rental.
Oh yeah. How you
Oya
spell it?
Vacation Rental. Yeah. Oya. It's OYO. Oya. There is Oya Hotels and Oya Vacation Rentals. So this is a very big company.
Yeah, I
Big
know the
company.
Oyo. I've seen the Oyo hotels,
Hotels. Yeah, yeah. They
motels.
have vacation rental like direction, so it's very big as well.
Man, I'm gonna look them up. That's 20,000. Holy smokes, that's insane. And yeah, wow. So y'all had to build something that could handle that much. Because
Exactly. Like they actually been the customer of Hospitable when they used to be a smart BNB. They got back to us and say like it's very slow. What do you guys can build for us? And we been building prototypes and like live product since that, to keep this customer satisfied like with their needs.
that's crazy. That's so cool. Yeah, I need some speed, man. I got the need for speed. It's we got around 70 properties on there right now, so it's not near as much as them, of course, but yeah, it's dragging a little on the Hospitable. No offense, Hospitable. If y'all are gonna sponsor us in the future, just send me the money. No, just kidding.
Not anymore.
Maybe not anymore.
Lovely.
Maybe iGMS will sponsor us. Who knows? Yeah, man. So I can't wait to try it out. What else would you want to ask him, Mike? You got any burning questions?
Yeah, it's just like towards the future. Like, how do you guys like plan to expand your offering, your markets, and what do you see in the coming years for you guys and your growth?
For us, first of all, we went through COVID. Like that was a disaster. We supported a lot of customers. Now we're thinking like direct booking is a big thing. Direct booking plus AI plus this three technology that I'm betting on right now. Airbnb, of course, is keep growing, but they cannot grow forever. So at some point, they're going to be, like slow down of the growth. And then when slowdown happens, what they're going to do? Like they still want to cut a lot of money, right? It's like 16% is no job, and direct booking is a thing to invest if you do the business. So we working on tools internally that would allow you to build your business in the internet, like pretty much do the direct booking offerings. And eventually, if you're very successful, maybe you can do association of the companies like yourself in your area, and using our technology, build a portal where you would be own Airbnb locally. Imagine like Airbnb in Florida, owned by association of local players. There is no Airbnb. Like there is like pretty much association doing the direct bookings, and then you can split this. Like, so this is my thinking. Like, you like globalization is good, but you need to build your own local thing that is working quite well, high quality.
That right there is powerful. That is one. I think Mike talks about that all the time. I know Mike B's probably in his car shaking the wheel because he's been talking about doing that. So yeah, I think that is a good idea. I love that. That's something we do need to work on. We do need to work on that.
Come to us. We can talk. We can talk about details. Since the technology wise, it is on the roadmap. We have better tests. Like this is the way we go, and we can provide this technology pretty much on very, very cheap.
Cool. Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
So what special offerings you got for our listeners, Live, Let, Thrive listeners? Any special trials or offerings?
We can offer 50% discount right away on the monthly payments. If you go there, like just type in the special code, like we're gonna post it, I guess, in the description below.
LLT. LLT? Yeah, LLT.
LLT, yeah. I love it. Yeah. I'll send this to my billing department. We'll set up this code and we'll track it.
50%
off. Right, for monthly.
For the premium product?
For the monthly. Yeah, for subscription. Yeah. We have like advertised price for the service, like for the product. So take half of that price, and this is going to be a deal.
Dude, that's awesome. 50% off. I'm in. I'm gonna try it.
Sure.
Yeah, cool.
Cool, brother. Thanks for hopping on. And I guess we all know where to find you. iGMS, right? If people want to find you or talk to you directly, do you want to give them any information, or what do you want to say?
LinkedIn, X, as used to be Twitter. So find me there. And of course, our support chat. If you have a brilliant idea, we can set up a direct meeting. I love talking technologies.
Love it.
Cool, man. Well, thank you for hopping on, and we will keep in touch for sure.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you, Igor.
Thank you.
See you.
Bye.
Man, that was actually a really good. That was like the last part when he was saying build a local association and then get off Airbnb. Imagine if that was already built before Dallas had their shutdown, man. You know how many people would still be in business? I mean, it would be, be illegal, but you ain't on none of the major websites.
Well, there's that, but also it would have been a lot more bargaining power with the city. We said if one group, one collection of all, speaking for all the short-term renters in the area, talking to the city, it would have been cool. It would have been cool. I don't know if it would have helped, but maybe.
Yeah, I mean, what if we had our own like association? People want to come to the city of Dallas. This is where you go for your short-term rental, not on Airbnb. One, that would hurt Airbnb's pockets. And you know what? Since Airbnb, because I was talking to someone today, and they have an Airbnb and they're looking to shut it down. And they're outside of the city. They're in like Lancaster. They're like, yeah, I'm just looking to shut it down. Airbnb's kind of slow. So I'm like, there's a lot of those people out there, but if they have a local association, man, that's powerful.
Something funny happens today real quick before we hop off. So someone rented one of our places that we managed, right?
Yeah.
For like a 36-day rental, nice booking, $3,400. It was a pretty nice booking. But the owner, they were supposed to hop out today, but then they said, oh, we want to extend, we want to stay here because we're going to be in town for a little bit longer. We're using the condo, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So I reached out to the guy, text message, I do have another unit right down the way, right? A house that we do, short-term rental in Arlington. And I just texted him, hey man, this is what's going on. I do have another place over here. We can give you a great deal outside of Airbnb, right? We can match that price that you were going to pay through Airbnb. You're going to get a nice house, And I didn't hear nothing. I asked him, hey, is this blah blah blah. Our VA reached out to him inside of the platform. Of course, we didn't say that we're going to go outside Airbnb and all this. We just said, hey, blah blah blah. Well, this is happening. We can put you in another place. So he responds, but he responds inside of Airbnb, and he puts that screenshot that I sent, right, of the, hey, you can stay here at this Airbnb and we can handle it outside direct, blah blah blah. And then Airbnb gets involved in saying, oh, we have no problem with you trying to put them in another one of your Airbnbs, but you're offering to go off platform doing it, and this is against his violations. I was like, oh, this guy went and snitched on a good deal. It was a good deal. I was trying to hook him up, you know what I'm saying? And he went and snitched. He was all scared, and he went and told Airbnb on us. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. It's never happened to us. Every time we've done like an offer like that, it's always worked out great. Of course people want to save money.
Y'all be texting people that?
This guy didn't want to save money.
Y'all be texting people that?
Well, they've already booked, and we're going to try to move them around somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Call them, bro. Yeah, don't ever text.
No. I called him first. He wouldn't answer his damn phone. I called, and I'm like, well, he doesn't know my number, right? So I called him, and then I was like trying to figure this thing out, but he won't answer his phone. So I texted him. Of course, I'm not going to do it write that on Airbnb, but I texted him after that. And anyways,
try this. Oh, go ahead. Finish your story.
Oh well. So luckily, the owner was like, if he wants to check in tomorrow, we can leave tomorrow. We got somewhere else we can stay, for the rest of our trip here, blah blah blah. So of course I reached out to him and said, okay, the place will be available. You could stay. We'll honor your original booking. And finally he came to say, okay, that's great. I'll stay. And it just turned into a mess. But yeah, what were you gonna say? Your suggestion?
Yeah, I would say, man, just always hit them up with a text and just say, hey, this is your host. We do have another place available. Give me a call. Because I have had them like, this happened a couple weeks ago. I have that, you have the idiot that you don't let extend because he's an idiot. Like, he kept asking, and we kept ignoring the question. Hey, we see on your refrigerator, I can get 10% off if I book direct. Can I just book direct? And so we just kept ignoring the question. He
asks inside of Airbnb.
Airbnb. So we just ignored it, right? And I was going to have my VA send a text, but I was like, no, I don't even want him in there because his level of intelligence isn't the type of guest I would want. Any intelligent person, because there's a fucking QR code on it. All you have to do is scan it. Once he scanned it, it would have took him to the property and he could have booked it. Like, it seriously says, get 10% off, scan the QR code. That's all he had to do. Instead, he's typing this in there. So I just ignored it. So I've always learned with Airbnb guests, you don't know their level of intelligence. I hate to say this. The price they pay is their level of intelligence. So the people who pay $300-$400, they'll go off Airbnb and they don't have a problem with it because they can figure out how to book off Airbnb. And plus our name is in all of our pictures. So if you scroll, it says Airbnb. Anyone with sense. So yeah, I've ran into those situations where they put shit and I just ignore it. Or we'll even counter it and say, by the way, if you are looking to extend your stay, you'd have to extend it here on the app. Because yeah, you get. So he wasn't answering the phone. Yeah, man. Certain guests. How much did he pay per night? That's the question.
It was 36 nights and it was $3,400. So
he's paying about 108, 108-ish. 115. It's like between that number. Yeah. That would be a guess you'd think could figure it out, though. I would put that. But to respond back, and he screenshotted it.
He sent a screenshot in the group in the Airbnb messages. Yeah.
So what did he say to the screenshot?
Well, he said, "What's going on here? Are you trying to cancel me or blah blah blah?" And like, I guess he was thinking that was some third party fraud.
Yeah.
And one thing I did think about was we do use open phone to communicate, like our phone numbers, our company phone numbers. So he saw me calling and texting. He's like, it didn't match the phone number that was on Airbnb. So this is the first time it's happened. We've you know, we've had many happy customers that we deal direct with, you know what I'm saying? But I noticed Airbnb's telling all the VAs be sensitive to this, people taking people off platforms, man.
Yeah. Cause I get it a lot with my magnets. I only get it here and there, but the people who get it, they'll just scan the magnet and book and extend. You know what I mean? This guy just kept adamantly, I seen on your refrigerator, like we'd ignore it. Then we said, hey, you have to book through Airbnb. And then he comes back and he goes, you mean to tell me I can't book directly on your website? I'm like, oh my God. And we're like, no, sir. So he's typing it in Airbnb, bro. I'm like, come on, dude.
Oh my gosh.
We started getting pissed off at this point. I'm like, oh man, this ain't the guy we want, man. This ain't the guy. Yeah, he's that guy who texts. Yeah, man.
It's like you're like one of your kids saying something in front of somebody that you might have mentioned some things about before. Didn't you say they had big feet? Oh God.
Yeah, you know that what's that commercial? The play-by-play commercial. The girl was like, well, you said you don't go to her house because she talks too much. The little girl snitching on her mom at the bus stop. It's exactly what it is. Like, no, come on, man.
Dude, shut up. You got to put on those magnets now. Do not message me through Airbnb. Just book direct right here.
That's exactly. I don't know how more clear you could be about it. You know what I mean? In your situation, a little bit of grace because your phone number didn't match. But yeah, maybe try like telling your VAs. Because can they call your VA on open phone?
Yeah.
I just like maybe y'all should just make it a practice. Like, hey, whenever we want them extend through text, just say, hey, this is your host. If you'd like to extend, just call us here. This is your host calling about your question about extension. Give me a call at this number. Something like that.
Yeah.
Just something. Because, I've been in that situation, bro. You always get that idiot, bro.
Well, I finally got one. And whatever.
Yeah.
But he rented anyway. So it's all good, man.
Oops,
so
you're not an idiot if you're listening.
Yeah, no. iGMS, check him out, man. It sounds like some cool shit. Hit up Igor. He'll help you out. And
we'll get that show for you guys.
Yeah, LLT, mention LLT, and you get that 50% off. That's a discount. A lot of guys come on, you get like a 30-day trial. What the hell's that? 50% off. That's a lot of money you're saving right there.
50.
So, 50, big 50. All right, my brother. Well, great show. Where can people find us?
Find us Instagram. You can visit our website, liveletthrive.com, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button if you're on YouTube. Follow us. Thank y'all for watching our shorts, man. We're getting a lot of good feedback on those, man. And check out iGMS. We are not under sponsor, so check them out. We are out.
Live, let thrive. Peace.
Later.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.